William Ruto is still a man under siege. Leaders who have been supporting him are now distancing themselves from him or finding excuses to avoid him. Just days ago, Oscar Sudi announced he's taking a sabbatical leave from politics, 1 or 2 years. And in this forum, we did see that was a strategy by Oscar Sudi to avoid being seen close to Ruto, because his close association with Ruto is making him unpopular on the ground. Millicent Omanga also some few days ago distanced herself from Kenya Kwanza government, saying she has never gotten any benefit from Kenya Kwanza and that she is a private citizen. Most of these individuals who have been supporting Ruto, members of parliament, senators, they are finding excuses to avoid being seen with Ruto. Another Ruto ally in the name of Ahmednassir Abdullahi has also taken to his X account and shared out this. Ahmednassir Abdullahi Senior Counsel, reading Prof. Kopalo's well-written piece, makes the point so clear that the biggest singular challenge facing President William Ruto's administration since he came to power 20 months ago is one incompetence on an industrial scale. Everyone in his government's employment is transparently incompetent. How President Ruto managed to collect such large numbers of incompetent people in such a short period remains an enduring conundrum. That senior counsellor Ahmednassir Abdullahi, a very close Ruto ally, senior counsel is on record saying he has never voted for Raila Odinga all his life. So he has been voting for Raila's opponents. And you can just see he clearly voted for Ruto. I want us to dissect all this, in which I'm going to explain why people like senior counsel should not be taken serious. Sonkos, those ones should not be taken seriously. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. Let me start by addressing some of these people dumping Ruto. We saw Sonko also coming out complaining that Ruto lied to him, that he was promised some positions in government, but upon William Ruto forming his government, Ruto never kept his promise. That was Sonko speaking a few days ago. So it was very clear Sonko's bone to pick with Ruto was because Ruto never gave him something in the government. People like Sonko should not be taken seriously. They are just there for their own personal interests. If Ruto had given them positions in the government, it's very clear people like Sonko could have been on the forefront of oppressing and persecuting Kenyans. In fact, they could have been encouraging William Ruto now to be more brutal on the protesters. Sonko should not be taken seriously. Senior counsel Ahmednassir Abdullahi has been a loudmouth. In fact, he has been talking very badly. He has been attacking opposition supporters, opposition leaders, and I know he's making these remarks because he's saying he's not getting anything from Ruto's government. Upon Ruto forming his government, Ahmednassir Abdullahi thought Ruto was going to give him a job in his government. Ruto failed to give him a job. So this is just a bitter individual who is just crying foul for not having been given a job. And even if he was given a job in Ruto's government, he could have been on the forefront, urging William Ruto to be more brutal on the innocent demonstrators. So these are just jokers who should not be taken seriously. But above all, why are all these people, including politicians, distancing themselves from Ruto? The first reason William Ruto does not listen, and I just sympathize with his advisors. Ruto might be the person advising his advisors. He's a man who does not listen and does not listen to advice. That's why some of these individuals are running away from him. It might be possible some have tried advising him, but he's not just listening. So for them to be safe, they have to distance themselves from Ruto. That's the first reason. The second reason, Ruto has already lost his power. Power belongs to the people. If you look at Kenyans currently, a whooping majority are against Ruto. So Ruto has become a minority president. Kenyans have got a very strong opinion. Ruto is not representing their interests. Ruto is representing his own interest as Ruto and the interest of the West. So Ruto has already lost that support from the ground. He does not have that power. We know that power belongs to the people. The third reason, most of these individuals who have been supporting William Ruto, there are people I can describe as fair weather friends. They are only there with you during the good times, good days, but immediately you enter or face a problem, they all run away. Fair weather friends. So William Ruto should look into his friends. He doesn't have friends. People surrounding him are just surrounding him for what he can give to them. So William Ruto has to go back to the drawing board to understand that he's being surrounded by people who are all selfish. And it's actually true because if you look on how William Ruto campaigned, he has been giving handouts to Kenyans and to some leaders to support him. That's how he earned some of these leaders, giving them handouts. If he stops giving the handouts, there is no support. So Ruto's support is not a natural support. The kind of a support he has is not natural. It's a forced kind of a support. And also, if you look at these individuals, they already know William Ruto's government is moribund. It can collapse anytime. So they see no need of continuing to be very loyal to that kind of a person. After all, his government can collapse anytime. They are trying to position themselves with possible individuals who can form the next government. That's why they are dumping William Ruto. And also, if you look at some of the politicians who are also trying to dump Ruto, Ruto is making them unpopular on the ground. And I've always maintained in this forum that a smart politician, somebody who still has some hopes of being elected in future, cannot embrace Ruto. Embracing William Ruto is like digging your own political grave. It's like committing a political suicide. So these politicians are dumping Ruto because Ruto is killing them politically on the ground. And that's exactly what I've been saying in this forum. I've always maintained that as time goes by, leaders supporting William Ruto will find the ground very hostile. And they are already finding that ground very hostile. And some will abandon Ruto or go silent. That's exactly what they are doing right now. And now back to this post by senior counsel. He's talking of incompetence, that the entire government is incompetent. I agree with him 100%. If you look at Kenya Kwanza government from top to bottom, it's all made up of incompetent individuals. Ruto himself is incompetent, regarding incompetent. In fact, they are not fit holding public offices. So William Ruto went for these incompetent individuals so that he could dictate on them. He could direct them. because he knows that his own integrity is questioned. So he never wanted people of high integrity. He wanted people with questionable integrities so that they could not question his authority. And that's what is happening in Kenya Kwanza government. If you look at some of them, the mere fact that they were appointed government officials, that alone is an achievement for them. Whether they deliver or not, being called a CS to some of them is an achievement. And sometimes back, Aisha Jumwa made that very clear that she has really suffered, and to her, being named or being appointed as CS was a very big achievement to her. And also, if you look at Ruto being called Kenya's president, I think that's enough for Ruto. He feels good when he's being called Kenya's president. He has already left something that Kenyans will talk about in years to come. He does not care about his legacy. His legacy is that he has become Kenya's president. That's what is causing all this trouble. Individuals who are managing this government are not fit holding public offices. They are very, very incompetent, starting with William Ruto and his team. Let me stop it there. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Any person watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.